Happy Sunday and welcome everyone to episode 40 of Video Game Club. As always, I am your host and I have with me today... Oh, I should say my name. Yeah, what am I doing? I am your host, Tyler, and I have with me today the one and only true mustache girl, Austin.
Hello.
Hello, Austin. And it wouldn't be a Video Game Club episode without the hat kid of our hearts, Mox.
Oh, it was really nice. Hello.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good. I want to know, Mox, what have you been playing this year, and is there anything that you're looking forward to?
Oh my gosh, this year. It's only been 16 days.
Yeah, but, you've probably been poking around on something.
Well, Final Fantasy 14.
Of
Always.
course. Of course.
I'm trying to think if there was something else I played other than that. Cats Organized Neatly. We played that. That was cute.
Oh, yeah.
There was something else, though, that I got, and I can't remember. Oh, Tales of Arise. I liked that, too. Finally finished that.
Are you
that franchise?
Oh, yeah. Same. Are you looking forward to anything this year coming out? Like any big games or anything?
I think it's called Stray. The one
Stray?
where you play as a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Really excited for that.
Okay. What about you, Austin?
So last time we met, I said that I had finished up Yakuza Kiwami 2, and that I was going to take a break from Yakuza. I did not do that.
Liar.
And, just this morning, I wrapped up the last sub-story in Yakuza 3.
Oh my goodness.
All I have to do is finish the final chapter, which is going to be just a breeze, because when you finish the last sub-story, you get a golden pistol, which is unlimited ammo and unlimited durability. So,
Whoa.
guess what I'm using on the final boss?
That's crazy.
It's nice when they reward your hard work.
That's true.
Yeah, because it was a lot of hard work. Oh my god. Yeah. This was the most bloated Yakuza game I've ever played.
It's only uphill from here, though, I think.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. This seems to be kind of the low point of the series, so...
Yeah, that'll be good.
I thought you want to go downhill. What is uphill? Downhill's easier.
It's only downhill from here.
Sorry. I meant that, like, it's only good things are going to happen after this.
I see.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. I've been playing... I started Yakuza... Well, I started back playing Like a Dragon. And I was like, why did I stop playing this? Because when I started playing it, I'm like, oh, it's so good. Such a good game. I'm in like a dungeon right now, and it's really funny because, especially since we played Dragon Quest 11, they take a lot of there's a lot of Dragon Quest references and stuff, and so it's yeah,
they actually they got permission from Square Enix to do explicit references to Dragon Quest. Like the main character loves Dragon Quest; it's his favorite thing.
and when you're in the dungeons, they really feel like you're in like Dragon Quest dungeons and everything.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's a good time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good time. But as far as looking forward to, I would say like I am not a big Souls person, but I am really curious about Elden Ring. The I don't know, the art style and I don't know, just the way it like looks just overall to me in the setting. It's just really interesting for me versus the Dark Souls games. But we will see.
If I'm gonna talk about a game I'm looking forward to, because I guess I skipped on that. Bayonetta
please.
3, I think, is coming out this year.
Oh,
I think.
Hopefully.
Maybe it's early next year. But they finally showed a trailer last year, so I'm super stoked for it. Bayonetta 3, that's what I'm going for. Makeup complaints be damned.
I do, yeah, seriously. I do hope that the Hogwarts game, Hogwarts Legacy, I think is what it's called, comes out this year. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Also, Mox, I wanted to say that we missed you.
I missed you guys.
I'm glad that you got to like listen, but
I didn't really, because I want to play the game, and you guys talked about spoilers the whole time.
How do you talk about Death Stranding without talking about spoilers?
True.
Well, I don't know.
True.
I haven't finished it.
Well, you'll find out.
To do
it. Oh boy. Now, before we get started, just as a reminder, this is Video Game Club, where every 2 weeks we discuss a game voted on by our wonderful friends in the Bombchu Discord, and discuss that game right here on twitch.tv/ youtube.com/BombchuTV. If you can't catch us live, don't worry. You can find us on youtube.com and all major podcast services. Also, if you appreciate what you are hearing, please consider subscribing, rating, and just leaving a comment. Let us know, what are you looking forward to this year? What have you been playing? Did you play Hat in Time? Did you like it? Let us know.
Are you winning, son?
Are you winning? As a reminder, the nominations for this episode that were suggested by me included Psychonauts, A Hat in Time, and Ratchet and Clank. And A Hat in Time won, so that is what we are here to talk about. And we're very fortunate because we actually have a Kickstarter backer here with us who can kind of shine some light on some things. And I do have some questions for you.
I didn't pay extremely close attention, but I do remember some deets there.
Nice. So A Hat in Time is a 3D platformer. It was developed by Gears for Breakfast and published by Gears for Breakfast, or Humble Bundle, depending on which platform you played it on. It was released on PC and Mac first, October 5th, 2017. And
oh, wow.
Yep, and it came later to PS4, Xbox, consoles, and Switch. And it is developed using the Unreal Engine 3.
What are we on right now? 4?
5.
5.
Goodness.
So what was going on in 2017 in gaming? Well, the Switch came out.
Woo.
The SNES Classic came out. The new 2DS XL. The Xbox One X. And of course, with that came, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Star Fox 2, Persona 5, Divinity Original Sin 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, PUBG, and 3 Video Game Club games that we've played. So throw out some guesses.
Nier Automata.
Yes.
What else was 2017? Maybe Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? No, that would have been later.
One of them
Axiom Verge, but never.
Is a side-scrolling adventure game. No,
that was later.
With animals.
Oh, God. Night in the Woods.
Night in the Woods, yep.
Oh, God, yeah. Good call.
And then the third one is a first-person game where you kind of I guess it's kind of like a walking simulator.
A Plague Tale?
What Remains of Edith Finch?
Yep. What Remains of Edith Finch. So if we do another 2017 game, it's going to be like Hat in Time, What Remains of Edith. It's going to be crazy.
When did Axiom Verge come out? I
think it was 2016.
I think it was 2016 as well, yeah.
So bad.
Yeah. It's all right. Ain't no thing. All right, so A Hat in Time, a platformer action-adventure game set in an open-world environment, played from a third-person perspective, heavily inspired by Super Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie. Probably some other 3D platformers as well. DK64, maybe? Why not? It's got some collectibles in there. The game consists of 4 open levels, with 2 additional levels added via DLC later on. Did you guys play any of the new levels?
No.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I did. I bought the DLC, and I'll explain why later on. But I bought one of them, and the level was pretty fun. I know that, or I believe, Austin, that if you were a Kickstarter, you got the DLC for free?
Yes. You got the DLC for free, and I think even if you had bought the game just regularly, at least the Seal the Deal DLC was free if you grabbed it in the first 2 days that it was out. After that, they started charging for it.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds right. In this game, you collect items, you solve puzzles, you fight enemies, but your primary objective is to collect these things called timepieces, and they're similar to stars from Super Mario 64 or Jiggies. The timepieces are used to unlock later levels. Enemies drop these things called pawns, which are essentially coins, and the coins can be used to unlock additional challenges and items called badges, which are used to enhance your abilities. Another key collectible is something called yarn balls, and these are used to stitch your new hats, which give you new abilities. Do you guys want to go over the hats? Would you consider the hats spoilers?
I mean, we can go over some of the basic ones. There's one that you get really early on for sprinting. Your regular hat can use to point you to the objective.
Mm-hmm. One throws a potion that can blow up some different things.
Yeah, and you get more over time that you'll start to find things like, how do I interact with this? And it's like, usually if you can't figure out how to interact with something, it's because you need a different hat.
Yep. The thing that's interesting about the yarn balls is that if you get a yarn ball that's like, this is for the sprinting hat, and you already have the sprinting hat, it's just like, oh, you can just use this on whatever.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought that was really cool. There's other collectibles that are called relics. These are use them in like little podiums to like, they're like kind of like little mini puzzles that you use them on. And those allow you to unlock these time rift bonus levels. There's also something called rift tokens, which can be exchanged for like other like little cosmetics and stuff like that via this like slot machine mechanic. The time rift levels. Oh, go ahead.
So the slot machine thing, I believe, was added when they added mod support. So it was like you could to give you a reason to go online, because you can't get all of those collectibles from just the time rifts in the base game. That's kind of there to encourage you to go play levels that other people have created to earn more of those rift tokens and get more stuff.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, the other thing is that the time rift levels, some of them are just like kind of included, I think, as like part of the worlds, and then some of them are like found in like the hub world as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's right.
But yeah, that's A Hat in Time in a nutshell. So let's dive into the development a bit, and while we talk about whenever we get to the Kickstarter part, Austin, we'll definitely have some questions for you. No pressure. But the initial idea of A Hat in Time was started by director Jonas Karlev. It's probably how you say it, or Karlev. He was a student at a university in Denmark who has a master's in computer science, and he launched the project as an answer to his feeling of an ongoing shortage of 3D platformers, specifically developed by Nintendo. So this was like around when there was like kind of like a 3D platformer drought. I feel like that drought has kind of lifted a little bit with Psychonauts 2, the Ukulele. Well, that was the new one was a 2D one, right?
But even like Ukulele itself, the
first one,
I don't remember exactly when that Kickstarter happened, but it was not. These two Kickstarters were not too far apart from each other.
Okay.
So there was a lot of hype and a lot of people really wanting like Banjo 3E. People were kind of swirling rumors about that, and I think there was still a lot of popularity building on like the Banjo-Kazooie games finally being available on Xbox One through Rare Replay. There was a lot of what Axiom Verge did for the Metroidvania, for Metroid style games in particular. This was kind of stoking the fires for the 3D platformers.
And whenever they did the Kickstarter initially, they actually thought it would not be a success because they thought people got, burned a little too bad on Donkey Kong 64. It was known. You've played it, Austin, right? Mox, have you played it?
Played what?
Donkey Kong 64.
Oh.
Okay, well, it's you don't like 3D platformers where you have to collect a bunch of stuff.
I don't like. Yeah.
Spoilers on the upcoming review from Mox on this game. But in that one, there was just a ton of collecting, and it wasn't like just collect this thing. It was like, oh, make sure you're this character.
To be the right Kong. Yeah. Somebody made a Game Shark code to put an invisible like Kong barrel above you at all times. So you push a button,
awesome,
and it like allows you to change your Kong wherever you are. Apparently, it makes the game way more fun and way less tedious. But I haven't tried it out.
So so the development for the game started in 2012 and it was planned for a 2013 release, but it was delayed. Oh my gosh, did I get the release date wrong? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like freaking out because maybe I was I drinking when I did these notes? Let's see here.
Kickstarter games like
drinking
never come out at their planned date. It's always like years late.
It looks like I was going off the Steam release date or something like that.
And the Steam version was the first one to come out.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, so what happened in 2013?
Well, it was significantly delayed.
Oh. Okay.
And Jonas Kalev, he was the first sole developer of the game, but over time, he grew the company Gears for Breakfast, which had a lot more people. It spanned over 4 different countries, and it was entirely volunteer based. Just interesting. Through the Kickstarter campaign, the game surpassed the initial goal of 30,000 with a final total of almost a little shy of $300,000. And we, like I said before, we have a backer here with us. So Austin, why did you back this game initially? What kind of
Why?
turned
What
you
is
on?
wrong with you?
Because, it was something that wanted to recreate the magic of Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, stuff like that. And I was in a place at that time where I was just craving a game like that. I was just lamenting that 3D platformers weren't really a big thing anymore. And that was also a time in my life when, I was willing to back things on Kickstarter a lot more often. I've got a game from back then that I backed that still hasn't come out, but I'm confident that it will because they keep putting out updates on it. It just looks so good. But 10 years later,
what's that game?
Radio the Universe.
Oh,
Huh?
I'll
Never heard
let
of
you
it.
check it out.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, but
I
anyway,
don't
I was
back
just
things. I backed
Okay.
The Northerner. You know what happened? Still not
Yeah,
out.
still
I think
haven't
it's from
gotten that.
2009.
well. He also got Me Too'd.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Most of the stuff that I've backed has been something that I ended up getting, but
What about
Yeah.
Star Citizen? Did you back Star Citizen?
no, I didn't back that. That didn't look interesting to me even at the time.
when you backed it, was it still trying to reach its goal, or was it kind of far along? Or
Yeah, I backed it like really early, if I remember right.
Oh, wow.
But it blew past its goal super fast.
and
I was
had a
trying to
bunch
get other
of-
people to back it for like the stretch goals because I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I want online multiplayer, I want co-op, I want more songs from Grant Kirkhope, and
and a,
yeah,
and a lot of those they happened, right? A lot of the stretch goals.
Yeah, not like by the time that I had played it, because when I played it, like none of the DLCs existed. So like there was no online, there was no co-op yet, and I even backed it for 2 copies so that I could like do co-op
Oh my
with
gosh.
somebody who I gave the other copy to,
Oh wow.
and like it was that and like an N64 style box and everything. I was just like, yeah, I was super stoked for it. But yeah, at the time when I played, those weren't there, and then the Grant Kirkhope milestone, for some reason they had made it. It was at the end they were like, okay, every 15,000 or something that we make, we're gonna do another Grant Kirkhope track, and I think they only did 1 extra, even though they made enough to do 6. And so at some point they put out an update. It's just like, yeah, we didn't do that. Here's what we're doing instead, and it was all just a bunch of little stuff that didn't really matter to me.
Like remixes,
So that was kind of
maybe something.
And I don't remember. It was
Yeah.
it was stuff that seemed pretty
The-
insignificant.
The other thing that happened was they were gonna have like a Wii U version, right?
Yep, they had planned for a Wii U version, which at the time, for some reason, I was just like, yeah, Wii U.
Oh my
I was fine
gosh.
playing it on Steam, but like I really loved my Wii U at the time. And yeah, at some point they put out an update. Was like, we never said that we were going to do a Wii U version. We said we were going to try to do a Wii U version.
Oh
And
my
it's just too hard. That it's unsupported and blah de blah. It was just like, well, geez, a lot of people backed this for Wii U because
Yeah,
if you have that kind of nostalgia, you're probably a Nintendo gamer.
for sure.
But-
Sure. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Austin kind of already mentioned that it had that Grant Kirkhope was a guest composer on the game and added some songs to it. And if you don't know who Grant Kirkhope is, he's
Get outta
essentially get out of here first of all. Yeah, exactly what Mock said. No, but he's essentially responsible for some of the best video game music that exists. Period. GoldenEye 007, Banjo-Kazooie, DK64, Perfect Dark. What else, Mox? You said Conquer, right?
Conker's Bad for a Day.
Yeah. Anything else really big that I'm missing? Probably. He did a bunch of stuff. It's crazy. The Switch version has like a little interesting history because initially they said on Twitter that like it's not happening. We're not going to put it on Switch. And then at Gamescom in 2018, they're like, "Hey, we're going to put it on Switch. next year. And so yeah, that happened. This game also came out whenever I think like the green lighting stuff was happening on Steam still.
That sounds right. Yeah, there was a trend where when people would do Kickstarters, they would end up doing a green light page and be like, "Go vote for us on Greenlight."
Oh my gosh.
Which is funny to think because now it's completely different, where it's just like there's no barrier to getting a Steam page.
Yeah, very little. Very little. Yeah. So normally we would kind of dive right into the plot, but before we do that, let's talk about the release and reception. We're going to change it up a little bit here. So, we got mostly positive reviews. I mean, people really liked that it was a great effort from a small team. They thought it was a great tribute to the genre. And overall, it was just like a really fun game. The main con that I saw was just like some technical issues. It was kind of rough around the edges. And that was my experience when I played it like today as well. I'm sure we can all talk a little bit about that as well later on. Austin, do you remember anything else like at the time that people were like saying about this game? Did you follow reviews whenever it came out or anything? Or?
When it came out, it was just like pretty much pure love. I think the only beef that I really had with it at the time was there's like a particular power up that you don't get until kind of late in the game that I think they should have given to you a lot earlier. But it was really satisfying the cravings that a lot of people were having between Banjo, Mario Sunshine, Mario 64. Like a lot of that was just really bumping people up online, and it was scratching that itch for people.
Nice. And it sold pretty well. I mean, 2 weeks after its release, it sold 50,000 copies. By July 2018, it sold over 500,000, and then by December 2018, it sold over 1 million copies. So in a year, they sold over 1 million, it feels pretty successful for a game like this. I feel like 1 million of this, that's a lot of this.
Oh yeah,
that's a lot of Hat in Times.
A lot of hats in time.
A lot of hats in time, indeed. There were 2 DLCs that were released. One of them is called Seal the Deal. Like Austin already mentioned, if you claimed it within like the first, I think it was like 24 or 48 hours or something, you got it at no charge. It added the Arctic Cruise chapter and a new challenge mode with 6 additional timer stages, as well as some more cosmetics. And it also added local split-screen co-op as well, with a new character called Bow Kid.
Oh.
Has anyone played this game in split-screen co-op? Not online. I also have not. Have you, Austin? Split-screen co-op?
No, Lena and I thought about doing it, and we just never got around to it.
Okay. The second DLC that came out, this is the one that I bought, and I'll explain why in a bit here. Yakuza Metro, and it plus online party. And it had a Japan-inspired underground city. The chapter was like really, really cool. I really liked it a lot. What I played of it was really interesting. But it also included this online multiplayer mode, which allowed for 50 players to play in a single world at one time. 50. And it was, at the time, it was one of the first games to use Valve's Steam Networking API 2.0 as well. I played it multiplayer like that when I first started it, and it was bad.
Oh gosh.
It did not work very well at all. There's a lot of things, especially in the beginning level, where you have to interact with like a button, and there's another character there who also needs to push this button. Like you have to push 2 buttons at the same time, and one of us could get through, and the AI character would go over and press the button, and they could go into this next area. The second person couldn't. They were just locked. They couldn't do anything at all.
What?
And that happened multiple times. It wasn't just about this button, too. It was like, it seemed to only happen around like cutscenes. Like whenever cutscenes would need to trigger. When you fought bosses, oh my gosh. You would fight the same boss, but it was like doing different things. Like it wasn't like, so like one person was reacting to what the boss was doing while you were reacting to what the boss was doing, but the bosses were not doing the same exact action. So you guys were
So
kind
they
of
were,
flying all
like,
over the screen.
punching something in the air or something like
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
It was weird. It was very weird. I would not recommend playing it this way ever. I would just no. I would not recommend it. All right, I'm gonna put on the spoiler tag, even though it's just it's more of just like a platformer, go collect them all sort of game.
Yeah,
But there is
light.
a little plot, so I'm gonna throw the spoiler tag on. So A Hat in Time follows Hat Kid, who's this little girl who's trying to go home via the spaceship. She passes over this planet, and when she does, like, this mafia guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, kid, you need to pay the toll." And they're like, "What?" And he like breaks the glass of the ship. It's kind of crazy because it doesn't make any. Who cares?
Well, and at the end of the game, she opens the glass and there's no vacuum.
Yeah.
Well, he opens the glass first, and she's like, "No." She closes the door on him, and then when he breaks it, that's when everything gets sucked out.
Yeah. So she loses all the timepieces that basically like are fuel for the ship. They fall down to this planet below. She goes down there. You meet a character called Mustache Girl, who is a girl with a mustache. Funny enough, you fight some bosses and stuff on that level, and like you like find some timepieces, and then there's a conflict with Mustache Girl, where the Mustache Girl realizes that the timepieces can rewind time, so she wants to use them to be like a superhero and basically like save everything. But Hat Kid's like, "Hey, I need these to get home. Plus, messing with time is extremely dangerous, so you like should not do that." And Mustache Girl gets angry, and then she's like, "You know what? No, I'm gonna take these timepieces and I'm leaving on my own." And so the whole time, like, Mustache Girl is kind of like in the back of your head is like, "Oh, eventually I will have to like, confront this person about some additional timepieces." You like venture onto these other worlds that unlock after you collect timepieces. There's one that's like a movie set that has two directors that are kind of competing. The levels are like very different than the levels that you played in the world before. They're like Metal Gear Solid almost, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like a lot of the worlds that you visit. It's kind of like Mario 64, where you pick a star that you want to do, and it like makes some small changes to the world. But like overall, you're still you can tell you're still playing on the same level. And if for some reason in that chapter, every level is just like its own thing. Like none of them really overlap with each other. It seems like.
Yeah. And then there's I'm trying to think of all the levels. There's like a spooky level that you go to. There's like a one that's like in this like sky almost. It's like these like tall mountains, floating
Alpine,
mountains.
I can't remember the name.
And then there's
that one was really,
and then there's the final level, and that's kind of it, right? 5 total. Yeah. Do you guys have anything that sticks out on those or anything that you want to talk about?
I liked
they're all very. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I like the directors. They were cute. They had cute like little back and forth stories.
Yeah.
They were birds. Birds were cool.
And then kind of building up their rivalry with points was an interesting idea. The spooky one was kind of dark. It was like, well, we're in spoilers territory. You have to sign away your soul
several times.
Yeah, and just like so, like it's kind of a building towards dealing with that guy throughout each chapter. But did you play the one where you're like in the house and
Queen Vanessa's castle?
Yes.
Queen Vanessa's like, dude, that was terrifying.
That reminded me a lot of Resident Evil 8, actually.
I couldn't play. It was so.
Yeah, that one is pretty scary because I didn't know what to do for a while too, and it's kind of you have to like get these balloons and make them pop to like knock this key down, and then like this big lady's chasing after you, and she's super scary. And then she like takes a shower. You have to like sneak in there. Oh, it's weird. It was weird and
Too
scary.
much.
The Alpine level was really cool though. I thought
Yes, it was.
like the sky level, riding
yeah.
around on the
Like zipline flag thingies.
yeah, that was just super cool.
Oh yeah.
I didn't play that one because I got my 25 and I was done.
Yeah, you didn't have to.
That's what we did with the Cloud Cuckoo Land, Mox.
Oh, I
Sounds
love
like a
Cloud
similar situation.
Oh
So I
gosh.
can't blame you.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So you do all this work, you collect all these timepieces, and you kind of like, I guess you like kind of befriend these people along the way, over time. And then Mustache Girl breaks in, takes like all these timepieces that you've like been working towards, creates this like crazy fiery inferno place, and it's the last level. And the thing I like about this is how it's separated out. Like it's the only level that you have to take a lift to go up to like get to. You know what I mean?
I do
Yeah.
not know what you mean. What do you mean?
So there's an elevator that you go up to get to the final level.
Oh, I see. From
Yeah.
the hub world.
Yeah, and it's kind of separated because like, if you wanted 100%, you like go back and you can kind of like ignore that section for the most part, which I thought was pretty cool. But anyway, you go there, you go through this like Bowser-esque castle, and then you start fighting Mustache Girl. What ends up happening is like everyone oh my gosh. So everyone shows up from all the games or from all the levels that you've been doing, and they realize that if they kill themselves, they can help you. And so everyone just starts killing themselves. Right, Austin?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember this,
I
Mox?
mean, but
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I played the same game you guys did.
Mm-hmm.
They realize that whenever they explode or die or whatever, that they become pawns and that they become hearts. And it gets to a point where at one point like you just like cannot die because you're constantly receiving health from them like killing themselves or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you Mustache Girl is defeated, and then you start to pack up and you're gonna leave on your, you got all the timepieces or enough for your voyage home, and you get ready to go. And then you have a decision where you can choose whether to give Mustache Girl a timepiece or not. Did you guys give her a timepiece?
I didn't care about the game at that point, so yeah, I did.
Austin?
I didn't finish it this time. I don't remember what I did my first time playing it. I'll get into why I didn't finish it this time.
Yeah.
We get to our thoughts.
I did give it to her, and I don't think it makes a difference if you do or don't,
Oh,
actually.
great.
But
That sucks.
you start to leave, and something really funny does happen at the end. Everyone like grabs your ship. They're like, "No, you can't leave," and they like are all holding on. And then Hat Kid has to go out there and be like, "Hey guys, I have to go." She like scrubs them off, basically, the ship.
She
And-
does cry about it.
Yeah. Very sad. And then she resumes her voyage home. And then after the credits, you see that she's sleeping in her bed, surrounded by toys that resemble the other characters.
Which to me is like, is it all a dream? I don't know.
Probably, right?
Mm.
Right. All right. Personal takes. Do we plan on getting into spoilers with personal takes? Austin?
I mean, this isn't a very spoilery game.
All right.
I can avoid spoilers in my personal
Me
take.
too.
All right. I'm taking spoiler tag is coming off. All right, let's go into our takes. And Austin, I would love to start with you.
Okay. So, yeah, I kickstarted this game, played it pretty early on, and I got 40 timepieces back when I think that was all you could get. Now I'm looking online, I'm not totally sure, but I got 40 timepieces and had a lot of fun doing that. Really liked it at the time. I think it even made it into one of my Bombchu like top games of the year videos.
Wow.
Whoa.
And that, or it got honorable mention, but it was either way. I very much liked it at the time. And now I I don't know if it was because of all the DLCs that they made and like all the patches that they've done, but it seems a lot buggier than when I first played it. I had to spend like a couple of hours trying to launch the game because there was some graphics option that was causing the game to just crash when I would go into the menu. So I couldn't go into the menu to change the graphics. Other people had this problem as well. And so I had to like go find the config file and go change it there so that I could interact with my menus. Even then, it was still pretty buggy. Like, I loaded into a new game, it skipped all of the story cutscenes and just launched me straight into Mafia Town with no music or sound or objective.
What?
Which was super bizarre. So eventually I got in and was able to like start a playthrough. And at some point I was on a pretty long timepiece and the game crashed and removed all my progress. And I was just like, yeah, I've played this game before, so I remember it well enough. I'm not going to play through it again. This is just torture. So, in adding a lot of their stretch goal features, I think they've kind of made the game even buggier. Even stuff that wasn't crashing, like I was getting weird graphical glitches on the train level. Anytime I would enter a door, the screen would just like violently shake for I guess while it was trying to do the door transition. Instead of showing that, the screen would just shake until it changed over to the next room. Lots of just weird stuff. And everything seems to be built around like their online play now. Like even just walking around playing regularly, like I have a chat wheel, things like that.
Yeah.
So it kind of drove me crazy. I really like that if you're going into a level that you don't have the right equipment for, the game kind of warns you. It's like, hey, I mean, you can play it if you want to, but you're missing something that's kind of intended, like a hat or a piece of equipment or something like that.
Yep.
So that was nice. The hub world was small enough to not be overwhelming, but it still had like fun little nooks and crannies to explore. I love the time rifts.
Yes.
At least the ones that are kind of Super Mario Sunshine style. There were
So
the other
good.
time rifts that were like looking back in time, I guess, and those I didn't really like as much, but they were fine.
Oh yeah, those ones were kind of weird.
Sky level, yeah, they were odd. The sky level was definitely my favorite. Really, really liked that level.
I have one beef with the sky level. I'm curious. Did like whenever I would go back to go to that, like I would go to the hub and go back to the sky level, I ran into like you can't like choose. I couldn't choose like which time piece to go for. I could only choose free roam.
Oh, that's how it's meant to be.
Yeah,
that level specifically.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah, so basically most of the levels, if you choose a timepiece, it like makes changes to that level.
Yeah,
so that you can.
But that one didn't have changes, I guess, for some of them.
That one, all of the timepieces are just available to grab.
Okay,
kind of like a Banjo-Kazooie level.
Yep.
So I thought it was interesting that they could kind of like change that for each world that they were doing. But yeah, I like the structure. The glitches really ticked me off, and one thing I kind of realized this time, because I didn't know about it my first time, there's a power-up that you get kind of later in the game, and there's lots of things that you'll see, like, what's that for? What's that for? I won't say what it is, but it adds, it's a very fun power-up, and there's lots of stuff early on that you can do that's just totally optional that you don't really need to do. So it kind of makes it so that you can go revisit levels and do more with them. But I think the power-up is like, I think once you get that power-up is when the game really starts. Like that's when you're really like flowing with the game, and I think they should have introduced it earlier. Because 16 I got 16 timepieces this time before I quit after too many crashes, and I at that point I still didn't have it. It's like, man, I really would like to have this right now, especially like on doing a second playthrough of the game. That'd be cool if
You started with
If they
all
were
hats
like,
or
oh,
something.
start with this,
Yeah.
that'd be
New
an
Game Plus.
interesting.
Is this
way to do
hat
it.
that you're kind of tiptoeing around?
It's a badge.
I think it's a badge.
Oh, it's a badge. Oh, okay. Never mind then.
It's obvious what it is. You could see the activator thingies for it from the beginning of the game. I feel like you can say what.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I get it. Oh, yeah. That would be That would make the game a bit more crazy. Yeah, more fun at the beginning. For sure.
So for how much I loved it when I first played it, like I know there's a really good game in there, for at least a good game for me. I got annoyed this time by some like replaying certain levels that it was just like survive for an amount of time, or spots where you had to talk to people for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Going in and like trying to go find the time rifts could sometimes be annoying. It was like, okay, I can't find this time rift on this particular level because it's not loaded in for that one. Like I have to go to a different little things like that started to tick me
I'm
off.
remembering that too.
You had to choose a specific timepiece because the level will be modified,
and then go walk around in the level to go find where the time rift was.
Yeah.
And the specifically the cheat the race timepiece was they present it to you like it's something that you can do, and then no, you actually like you can do it. I've seen speedrunners do it, but in general, you're intended to actually cheat at that race. When you see that, it's like, oh, I'll take a shortcut. It's like, no, you're actually supposed to get something to cheat on that level, which was very unsatisfying.
Oh, I didn't do that one.
I didn't either. I was a little back.
You didn't really miss much. So between those little annoyances that I've started discovering on a replay and the crashes really are what specifically took it down a few points, and that and the performance issues, because like I would get weird stuttering here and there, and it's like I'm running this on a 3080. It shouldn't really be struggling at all, but it took it down to like a 6 for me. Like I don't want to replay this game, at least not in the state that I played it during the last couple of weeks. I would want it to be, if it got fixed up, to not have such technical issues.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably give it like a 7.8, maybe an 8 now. And when I first played it, I would have given it like an 8 or a 9. But it has not. It hasn't
aged
aged as well as I would have hoped, and they seem to have added technical issues in their quest to fulfill the stretch goals. So I would. It makes me wary of like games trying to. I applaud them for beating those stretch goals, but at the same time, it seems to have compromised the base game.
Yeah, I agree with you. Mox, how about you?
I thought I owned this game, and then I started playing it yesterday and bought it for $15 on Humble Bundle, because $30 is a lot for like a kickstarted game. I don't know. And so I went into it. I was kind of mad that I spent, $15 on a game that I didn't know if I would like. But everyone loved it so much, so I thought, okay, I'm going to give it a chance. And like as I started playing it, when you get into the first level, there's just so much going on. And it reminded me just like of Donkey Kong, like Spyro a little bit. There's just so many things moving around, and I didn't know where to go. And the storyline was interesting to me. I don't understand why the girl has a mustache. Maybe that's the point. It wasn't funny to me. And then like as I'm walking around, there's like so much to collect. And one thing I like about Banjo-Kazooie is that there's the notes and the jiggies and the jinjos, and there's a certain amount of each one, and you collect them and they disappear afterwards. But I feel like with this game, you could just collect an infinite amount of everything. And so I wasn't sure what kind of game it was when I first started, so I felt like I had to collect everything. But I don't know, like in Banjo-Kazooie, they'll have all the notes along a bridge, and so you just walk along the bridge and there they are. But in this game, they're just like, the pawns? The pawns everywhere.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if I needed to collect the heart ones, because those are everywhere. Anyway, I was just overwhelmed by the game, especially the first level. And I feel like it throws you in without really telling you like what the game is about. And I don't know, I wasn't interested in the storyline, so it was like kind of a task to get through. And so then I had to stop like after 3 hours or so. And I was like, oh my God, it's only been 3 hours. I felt like it was like 10. And then I came back and I was like, no, I'm going to like this game. And then I really liked the train levels with the, whatever the bird levels. They were interesting. And then I absolutely hated the scary level. There's just like, I'm going to say it. There's just like so many mentions of suicide in a game that I thought would be for children. I don't know. It was kind of like, ooh.
Yeah, the tone was kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't, is this game meant for children? I don't know. I feel like it's like, I don't know. The story is like minimal enough that anybody could appreciate it. And there's not a lot of like text and words. I don't know. It felt like a game that a kid could enjoy, but then so much suicide. I was overwhelmed. And the scary level was incredibly scary. And I had to look up a walkthrough and like pause, read the next step, figure out what I'm doing, and then unpause because it was just too much.
Oh, Mox.
I know. But I also really enjoyed the, what are they called? The time rifts. They were very much Super Mario Sunshine. I really enjoyed, like, they were easier than Super Mario Sunshine, which I appreciate because I had a hard time with Super Mario Sunshine. And they also have a lot of what are they called? Checkpoints.
Yep.
Which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
I like when they have, and like I'll know that there's a checkpoint there because it has a little lamp, and I'll be like, I just need to get up there and activate the checkpoint, and then I can fall off. And I did, and it was okay.
The checkpoints were really generous, I felt.
Yes.
Yeah, they were.
Well, and because of the generosity of them, I was like, this is definitely a kid's game. I think of like Yoshi games where they give you, you can have wings so you never fall. And then they have suicide in a game with kids. Anyway, I don't know. Overall, I guess I didn't like it. There was just too much going on. Too many things to collect that didn't really matter. And I just tried to get through it as fast as possible, especially the haunted level, scary level. And so I think I'd give it like a 6 out of 10.
My goodness. I think this is a first. We're completely aligned.
We
would
were
also
all aligned for Dragon Quest.
Oh yeah.
Weren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, and A Night in the Woods?
Oh yeah. I would also give it a 6 out of 10. So I started this game playing multiplayer with my cousin because I thought, oh, this will be like, I need to do this for a video game club. This will be a good one to play like with my cousin.
It's fun.
Completely co-op. It'll be a good time. We bought the DLC to do the online. Then we played it, and then we instantly regretted it. We were like, this is awful. At first, we were like, oh, maybe just like a small issue happened. Let's restart. And then we were like, oh, maybe another small issue happened. Let's just restart. No. It was never going to end. I also ran into like little glitches, and it crashed a few times on me as well. I'm running a 1080, and I had a lot of stutter, and it was, I don't know, it was weird. It was like, this game should not be performing this way. Like, what's the deal? I don't know if it's like the multiplayer stuff that was added that did it or what, but yeah, it's I had a very similar experience to Austin. A little bit better experience than Austin from the like my sound worked, for example. But yeah, the first level I thought was really great. I really liked it, and I was excited to see like, okay, like what are the other levels going to look like if there's this one? And then we got to the film one, and I was like, it's okay. Like every timepiece is kind of different. I was kind of hoping for the open world thing. Then we get to the spooky one. Still kind of not really open world, like kind of, but they really push you in like a direction, and there's all these like barriers and stuff, so you can't really freely explore. But then the sky level happened, and I was happy again. But I do like that they were like really diverse, like just really different levels. I think I really liked the parade one, the parade timepiece. That was probably like my favorite one. It was just nice to be in that parade and go around and stuff. I don't know. It's just really cool to lead it. And you get the cool little hat, the parade leader hat or whatever. There's probably a proper term for the parade leader, but yeah. The platforming I thought was mostly pretty good. The thing that was, I would love to see a speedrun of this game, because the thing that was really interesting was like, can I jump on this? Like I'd see like random things like, can I jump up here? And like you could do some crazy stuff. Like some crazy jumps. It was a really good time. But yeah, like you guys said, like it had those little issues. I also agree with Mox, like the collecting thing was kind of weird. Like I stopped collecting the coins or the pawns or whatever. like after the first level, after I learned like it didn't really matter. I just stopped altogether. Some like I don't know. It just with that and then like the multiplayer experience that I had that was kind of bad. The DLC level that I played was really fun. I thought that was really cool, but I don't know. Like I really thought it was going to be like a good experience multiplayer. I kind of wish they wouldn't have added that because I feel like it may have made the game be a bit smoother. I don't know. Maybe not. But overall, like for me, like it would be like also 6 out of 10. I don't know. I feel like I would only recommend this to someone who's really hungry for a 3D platformer. Like
You're just gonna say they're really hungry.
Are you hungry?
And maybe don't play it on PC.
Is the Xbox or PlayStation version better or Switch?
I have no idea. All I know is PC version seems to be troublesome.
Yeah.
And if you're at least playing on a fixed spec, like maybe that improves it a bit.
Yeah, could be.
Playing one of the console versions. I don't know.
I played on Steam, and I used my PS5 control because I don't own an Xbox. And I didn't have any crashes, although I did have several times where things bugged out, and it was impossible to get the camera to go where I wanted it to, which made me very angry. But I couldn't make the button prompts be PS5 button prompts, even though it said everywhere that they support PS5. It was very frustrating. So I don't know what ABXY is, where that is on the Xbox controller. Just like another thing that broke it.
Yeah. Austin, did you play the 3D ukulele game?
I played part of it.
And I know
I liked this more than that.
Okay, that's what I was just curious about.
Yeah.
So you would recommend someone play this before they do the 3D ukulele?
Yeah. Maybe 3D ukulele if you were like super into Banjo-Tooie. Or if you're still super into Banjo-Tooie specifically. Like if you haven't played it in a while.
Play it again.
And you're not sure. But if you've played it recently and you're like, this is the best, then maybe ukulele would be more for you.
Yeah.
I think this game is a better spiritual successor to the Banjo games than ukulele.
For Banjo 1, I agree.
Either one, yeah.
Although I really, like, this still doesn't quite scratch that itch. I know, like, when you were talking about grabbing the notes, it's just like, oh, the notes were such a good indicator of where you haven't been in the level yet. And where you need to go, and like getting all of the notes was just super satisfying.
Oh yeah,
yes.
And made sure that you had really like gone everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, Banjo. Oh, we're gonna have to do Banjo-Kazooie at some point because like there's just so much that game accidentally does right.
we should do it.
And they have all Grant Kirkhope tracks, not just 2.
True.
Oh my
True
god!
that.
And they're all so good.
Every single one is a banger.
Yep. Absolutely. Anything else you guys want to add about Hat in Time?
If they make a Hat in Time 2, I would like all the levels to be in the style of the Sky level. Yeah, the Chapter 4.
Yep.
I would really not necessarily like themed that way, but like just free roam, go in, and all the timepieces are out there. Like individual levels within the chapters. I'm not here for that. Personally, I like it Banjo style where it's just, they're all there, let me go explore, find them on my own.
Yeah.
I didn't even play that level. I might go back if you guys liked it. Was it your favorite one out of all of them?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Even more than the Mafia one?
Yes, much more.
Wow, okay. I might go back. What happens if you get all 40?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. It probably wasn't that important if you didn't remember.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a little dive in our take on A Hat in Time. If you enjoyed hearing us discuss A Hat in Time and want to join us for the next Video Game Club episode, stay put, because our next vote just ended, and it was between Bulletstorm, Doom 2016, and Stubbs the Zombie, blah, 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 blah. There's like more to that title, right, Austin? I forget what the whole thing is.
Rebel Without a Pulse.
Yeah, Rebel Without a Pulse. And it looks like it will be, by a huge lead, Doom 2016. Thank you, everyone who voted. And unfortunately, Mox will not be joining us next time.
Oh, what a shame. I'm going to miss Doom.
Oh, no.
We did pick these vote choices based on the knowledge that Mox was not going to be here. So we didn't pick those just to torture Mox.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank everyone for joining us, listening to YouTube, on the podcast, on Twitch. Thank you so much. Again, just as a reminder, you can catch us here on twitch.tv/BombchuTV every 2 weeks at 2 Eastern, except for the next episode. I'm going to be out of town visiting some family, and so the next stream will actually be on Monday, January 31st, and it'll be at a later time. I don't know that time yet, but we will share it in Discord, in our Discord, once we know what that time will be. But it'll probably be in the evening.
Almost over.
At some point. And if you can't make the live session, again, don't worry. You can find it on YouTube and all major podcast services. Just search Bombchu Video Game Club, and you'll find it. Now, before we leave, I just want to say that if you want to play a good 3D platformer, just play Mario Odyssey. Anything else? Anything you guys want to say? Any last words?
No, but I hear your statement.
Austin, sir?
If you're playing through Yakuza, you know, it's okay to hate Yakuza 3.
Do you hate it? Hate's a really strong word.
I've been kind of hate playing it. They're like everything. There's little bits and pieces that are good. Like, I mean, as a Yakuza game, it's not a great game. Like, as far as just being a game, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's just not a good Yakuza game.
That's fair. Austin,
it's got it's just so. Anyways,
thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And Mox, thank you for taking time to join as well. I know you've been really busy lately, so I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it.
We missed you guys.
Yeah.
I won't miss Doom.
No, you won't, but you'll be there for the next one, hopefully.
Yep.
I'm Tyler, and this was Video Game Club episode 40, A Hat in Time. And we're out.